Welcome to the 94th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us. Today's adventure takes us to Sarnia, Ontario, not too far from our house, and we visit the Feather Your Nest yarn store and gift store. Can't wait to talk to you about that adventure. We'll talk to you about what Colleen had for her lunch and all those good things. But before we begin to talk about our adventure, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
So let's talk about what May is wearing first. She is wearing the Faded Guernsey Cowl by Robbie Laughlin. Beautiful pattern.
Beautiful yarn. The pattern's awesome too, but the yarn is so soft.
So this is Barocco Comfort. So it's the worsted version, and it is brilliant on you. I'm really happy with how that turned out. The texture shows up on a plain color. The faded one that the pattern's done in is a blue brick yarn, but we wanted to have something that would be a little bit more comfortable for you around your neck. So.
Yes. Now you use this Barocco Comfort yarn quite a bit, I notice, when we do our podcast. I don't really know much about yarn. Price range, is it reasonable, mid-range?
It is probably on the lower end because there's no wool in it.
So you can wash this and everything? It's just, I
machine
love this.
washable, dryable.
You know, it doesn't really have to have, it doesn't have to have cashmere and for me to be happy.
I know, exactly. It is a really soft yarn.
Yeah, I like it.
And you'll find some of the Barocco Comforts coming in as we go through.
Great.
So that's what May's wearing. Now what I'm wearing is the Easy Goes It by Michelle Higgins. And I've made this one before, but I had this one skein of Malabrigo sock, and it's their reflecting pool. And it's my favorite color.
I love the color.
And sometime I'm feeling rich and almost famous. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy myself a sweater's quantity of that yarn and make myself a sweater.
Really, it's beautiful.
I just
now
love
you didn't
the
use
color
the colors
so much.
that are in here. This is a nice color.
That's
in
a variegated
pattern.
one.
Yeah.
This is more tonal.
That's very nice.
And I have one that's in kind of a variegated yarn that we bought when we were in Michigan, actually. But I thought I'd like to have one that is just tonal, and so I'm really happy with how this turned out.
I love it. It's a one skein?
One skein. Yeah. Now, the ends are really long, and that's okay. I had thought about putting tassels, but the tassels would be one over my back and one at the front. So we just decided,
it looks great.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
You know, you wrap it around a couple of times. If I was wearing it out in the winter, I'd wrap it one more time around, and it would basically be like a big cowl.
Yeah, and I mean, the one skein to me, like I said before, it's just enough yarn for you to have around here.
Yeah, I'm really happy.
Now, how many skeins is this? Is this like not a skein, this is a ball, right?
Well, it's a ball of yarn, but it's a ball and a little bit.
Well, so you need 2 balls for this.
You need to buy 2 of the Barocco Comfort to do that. But it was nice. If you
worth
bought 3 balls, you would get 2 cowls. So if you're thinking about a Christmas present, this is a brilliant pattern.
It's a good idea.
I like that because out of 3 balls, you would get 2.
Good idea.
Maybe you should buy some more.
That's actually a good way to do it because what are you going to do with the other half ball of yarn? What do you do with a half a ball of yarn?
Well, let me tell you.
There are things to do.
There are things because we're going to explain something in a little bit.
Okay.
And then I'll explain the things that you can do.
Okay.
All right. So that's what we're wearing. And next we're going to talk about finished objects. My first finished object is a pair of socks. And these are my Sockoween Halloween socks. So happy with them.
You finished them up. They look nice.
I did finish them. I really like them. I'm not an orange person. I'm not a yellow person. But I really like how these turned out. And I'm definitely going to wear them on Halloween.
Now, this is a fluorescent kind of a orange, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And this is the Premier Yarns Wool-Free Brights. It's a wool-free sock, but it's wool-free brights.
Now, you were going to put these in a contest. Is that correct? Like, not a contest, but
well, it is knit along.
Knit along,
with the Bakery Bears, and it's Sockoween, and so
you put it in.
I put them.
Did you win anything or no?
You know what? We haven't got to Halloween, so we don't know yet.
Oh,
so what I may do is there's a pattern, there's a yarn prize, and there's also a pattern prize.
right, nice.
Who knows?
They did turn out nice and soft.
I
Those will
really
be great.
like them, and that is the Jemima pattern, and that's by K.F. Jones. So let me just show you that. There's the socks. So they can go anywhere from looking like Halloween with the black and orange to doing something that makes them a little prettier.
Now, remind me about this contest. Was it something you had to do scary? Was it actually socks? Was it a hat?
It had to be a pair of socks.
Okay.
Hence the name Sockoween.
Oh, I see.
You were to use Halloween-y kind of colors, but it didn't have to be orange and black. So you could use purples and greens and, you know, kind of different colors that you see, and or a pattern that kind of is Halloween-y a little bit. But anyway, I was excited. So you don't have to complete the project to enter.
Oh, okay, nice.
Exactly. Sometimes the knit along you have to show finished objects, but you can put it in the finished objects thread even if you only have one sock finished.
There you go.
So that's my first
Good luck with
finished
that one,
object.
then.
Oh, thank you. I'll let you know how that turns out. My second, third, fourth finished objects are some of the Moordale hats. Once again, patterned by K.F. Jones. There it is. Now that is a patron pattern, so you can't go online and buy it. If you become one of their patrons, then you can get that pattern. But I really liked it, and I thought that our kids would like it for their Christmas present. So they don't watch, and it's okay. So we have a hat. There's one hat.
Nice.
So that's for your son Scott. There's another hat. They look the same color, but I made the tags different.
I like the tags you put on there.
I know. I bought them. This is before COVID, when we'd been in the States, they had them. And I'm not going to move them up too close to the camera because it'll change the focus, but we will definitely show you a picture of what's in there.
That's cool.
Exactly. So one for Scott, one for Thomas, and then Thomas's girlfriend is Haisa. And so I made it in a lighter color.
Nice.
Exactly. Now you were talking about.
Are these the same size?
This one has one more round,
okay.
Not a whole lot more in it. So what I decided to do, that's because those folks are in the same house. So that's that. And I'm really, really happy with that.
And there's some wool in this, so this will be warm, right?
Exactly. That was the plan. I think it's kind of nice, kind of beanie style. So this is new yarn, which is called Barocco Vintage Sock, which I really enjoyed working with it. Now, you'll see that I have a whole ball here, and that's because I thought 2 hats, 2 balls of yarn. But that's not how it worked out. So with one of the balls of yarn that was this big, I've got, sorry for the rattling, I've got 2 hats out of it, and I still have that much yarn left.
Wow, that's great.
Exactly.
That's good. Were you very surprised about that?
I was thrilled with that. And so this could make somebody a pair of socks.
Wow,
And
it's lovely
this,
yarn.
I have enough to make another hat, which might be for me. We don't know. But that's the kind of thing you can do with extra yarn. And it's hard because there's always lots of little bits. So you don't have to use them all, but sometimes you can kind of think of a pattern that will work.
Yeah, those are great.
So I'm really happy with that. So those are going into the Christmas box.
There we go.
And that will be good. All right. My next finished object. This is so cute. And there's nobody that this is for. So it's going to go tucked into the, sometimes somebody's going to have a baby something, and we'll do that. I know that's kind of ridiculous that we do
or
that.
Or a gift.
Or a gift. You never know. So this is the Anders sweater by Soaring Claire Kerr. And I have been in love with this pattern for a long time. And this pattern...
Why do you like this pattern so much? Like, what was it that drew you to this pattern?
I think when we first saw it, it was like teeny tiny. And it was so cute because it's all this like color work. And anyway, it's really a nice pattern if there's going to be a baby at some point in time in your life. Because, and I will show you this.
Oh, I love the color you picked.
So this is Uptown DK anti-pilling acrylic because it's easier with babies to machine wash and dry. Now, there's the sweater. If you turn it the other way around, there's the sweater. So there's no shaping as far as short rows, those kind of things. So for a little person who doesn't have much shaping of their own, you can either have it with the buttons at the front, have it with the buttons at the back, but it's nice because it's going to go over a baby's head.
Exactly. You just, oh, that's perfect.
I
It's
know.
so soft.
I know.
It's
I really
beautiful.
like this.
No, we just need a little person.
Exactly. Well, I really want to make one.
Well, if you have grandkids, you could make this for them. I
Exactly.
would highly recommend it. It's lovely.
It is, and it's a beautiful pattern. Like, it's well written, easy to work with.
And I do love your color choice. That was
Thank
lovely.
you.
And
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with
yeah,
that.
nice.
I think, do I have the name of that one? That color, the green color, is called C.
Nice.
The tealy green color is called C. All right. Now, then my last 2 finished objects, because there are 2 more, you're going to see pictures. And the reason for that is, first of all, we have this one, which is the Faded Plaid Scarf, once again by Robbie Laughlin. And I actually used blue brick yarn for mine. And it's Blue Brick Yarn Dye Works Muskoka Large. And the colorway I used is Midnight Runner. The problem is, it's on the blocking mats. And I thought, oh, I can take it off. And it's not quite dry. And if I don't leave it to dry, I'm gonna have to do it all over again. So we'll get you a picture, you'll see what this is. If you look at the one that he's wearing on the pattern, it is similar. I've blocked it out a little bit. I know that when he didn't block his out that much, I blocked it out a little bit. And I have to admit, I'm a little bit shy about things because I put it into the wool wash, and all of a sudden there was a little bit of blue. Not that it would have been of trouble because it's a faded yarn skein anyway, but I thought, okay, it's not staying in here any more than 5 minutes. Normally I'll leave it 15 or 20 minutes. I thought, it's coming out.
But you know, a lot of our people that watch us have given us some great suggestions on how to prevent that, so we could use one of those suggestions.
Exactly. I could have, if I remembered, to either put some citric acid or some vinegar in the water, but it was in the water before. I thought, oh, okay, I got to work on that.
Now, the yarn you use, is as soft as this yarn? Or?
It is, let me tell you what we've got. It's 80% superwash merino, it's 10% cashmere. So it's soft, and 10% nylon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and partly because I needed a skein that was big enough to make that one. This pattern actually, this yarn would gladly make one of those two.
Nice.
I think, just a second. This one is DK, I believe. So maybe I'd have to use Barocco Comfort DK instead. But it looks really, really nice on you.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. Now, the last one, once again, you're going to have to take a look at the picture, is by Gail Pounds, and it's called a lace cap, chemo cap. And so we know somebody who has lost their hair because of their treatment. And so I knit this up quick and sent it away to them. But the pattern was lovely. Now, the pattern, if you can take a look at it, it is a rolled brim, and I didn't do that because the yarn that I used, once again, Barocco Comfort, was the Comfort DK. And I had a lovely pale lilac color, but it's really, really pale. It's not purple. And so I knew the lace was going to be important just to have it so that your head could breathe and to go through that. So I'm really, really happy with that.
You're just happy today? You're happy with everything?
Yes, I am.
That's nice. It'd be worse if you were saying something else.
That is true. So those are my finished objects. And May, how about finished objects for you?
Well, this is a finished object. It's a little guitar holder from my son's guitar picks.
I like
and
that.
And he can put that we can hang it on the Christmas tree so he can get guitar picks on Christmas. Yep. He can put some two-sided tape on it, stick it on his guitar case.
Oh, that's a good idea.
He could wear around his neck as a necklace. And if he's got a special guitar pick, he could hold that in there. So I made that with wood, but it's this one's kind of a prototype thing. Okay. I might make a little different one.
I think it's really, really good. So I don't think prototype, but it's really, really good. You could easily gift that one.
Okay, so that's one finished object.
Okay.
Another finished object is, you can probably talk more about this, but you had asked me that if I could make you some kind of necklace or something that would hold your darning needle because you keep having to use it in whatever you need to do.
Okay, so can I explain?
Yes, sure.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
So I have the Magnetic Maker's Keep. And so I was doing something that was a cable thing. And I didn't have that on. And I find I like it there, but it's a little bit fiddly back and forth. And I thought if I could just throw something at myself, that either that metal cable needle or, as you say, a darning needle, and have something around my neck that could hold it. It's there to grab, do what I need to do, and then throw it back here. Sometimes with the Maker's Keep, you kind of do this a lot. And I thought, I know May's very creative. I know she's talented. I know she does woodworking. I know we have magnets. She can do something.
You're too kind.
Okay.
So I came up with this idea. It is a circle, and what I did was I drilled some holes, and I put 2 magnets inside.
Okay.
And then I covered this with mahogany, like a very thin sheet of mahogany, so that you could actually feel it being magnetized.
Kind of like cashmere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is a very thin part of mahogany. Right. So the magnets are in here, ready? And then you could put a necklace, like a chain
I've got
onto
jump
this,
rings,
right?
and I'll gladly do it. By the way, I'm ready. I've got the chain, and I'm gonna. There you go.
This was just I mean, I could make them fancier or different
Right.
now that I've
Right.
done one and I know that it works.
Right.
So you could make a heart or you could make different
Exactly.
shapes.
I really, really like it.
And but I just had circles on hand.
Exactly.
So I just,
Now, obviously, if you have plastic cable needles, that's not going to help. But I do have metal cable needles. So.
now I did make a bigger one to start with and I stained it and I don't like it.
Okay.
So then I made the smaller one, which I
Right.
much prefer. But
And May
it
did a
makes
great
it
job because we were talking about, do you put some, what is it, wax on it? What is
Right,
it?
resin.
Resin, something that you were talking about
Resin.
putting on. But I really, really like how it turns up. So really, I need to put in a couple of jump rings and it'll be able to go around my neck, no problem.
There you go. I'm glad you like
All
it.
right.
I'm glad it's
And then I kept
practical.
saying, and May, you know that darning needle we were practicing with? Where
Where
did
is
it go? But I found it, so it's all good. So
and this
those
stain
are
smells.
great.
Do you smell that?
Yes, I do smell that.
Oh, I have to take that away.
Yeah, I'm thinking around my neck. Ooh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, no. That's
Yeah.
not going to work.
That's okay. It's still magnetic, but
Right.
you know we can just pitch that one.
Either that or break it
It's a
open
good-
and get the magnets
good
out.
test. It's a good
exactly. So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first work in progress is called Star Shower, and that's by Hilary Smith Callis. And the way that this is described is a shawl cowl hybrid. So it's going to be bigger than a cowl that you might wear, but it's going to be easier to wear. So I can see gray hair on it, and I apologize. Okay, so this,
It's a different color.
it is.
It's
This,
not purple. It's not brown.
it's in between.
And you know it's really hard to see on the monitor because last time I had this bright orange shirt on
Right.
our last podcast.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't get any more orange,
Right.
and it came up pink.
Oh my
on
goodness.
the podcast on
Exactly.
the screen. It's
Yeah.
really hard to see.
Yeah, so partly I think is the camera, partly is everybody's monitor. It's
Yeah,
It's
it's the
interesting.
RGB coloring that you can't really get the actual color.
okay. There you
from the
go.
monitor.
Okay, so this is what it is. It's lovely and it's textured and it's going to open up just nicely, but it'll just slip over my head. I've still got this much left, so I've got some more knitting to do. And this is yarn. It's the basic sock of Things Created Equal. And love the yarn. Look at this. Like, I think that would sit nicely on here. Like, it depends on what color you wear, but it is kind of a purpley brown. So you and I both went, we really like that color,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
different,
not usually what you buy. And so it's kind of nice to have something that's a little bit different.
Really nice texture on this too.
I know. I really, really am happy with that.
Right.
So it's a very gradual increase, and it's going to open up nicely
Yeah,
when I
well,
block
I
it.
like it too.
I have to figure out how to block the cowl, but
It's nice
we'll
and
get it.
light.
Yes,
Nice and light.
absolutely.
Nice.
And it'll be nice and warm.
Yes.
So thrilled with that. And that yarn I bought at the Creative Knitter in Ridgeway. Oh, we had a good time.
Colleen's got a great memory. I don't know how you remember all that stuff.
I don't know. I get attached to things. I think
do.
that's the thing. So that's my first work in progress. My second work in progress, and this is quite funny because it's been a work in progress before. I tucked it away and thought, okay, yeah, I'll get to it. And then I brought it back out and went, I don't even remember what the name of the pattern was. I just don't remember what the name of the pattern was. I really like it and I have to figure it out. So what I did was I knew who the pattern designer was. And so the pattern designer is Casey Herlihy. The pattern is called Static. And I really, really do like the
that's
pattern.
nice.
Yeah,
Pattern,
I
yeah.
like the pattern. Now,
Nice.
I had bought some of Barocco Comfort DK, and I had planned to do something else with it. And then I figured I would just like this because I am a fan of purple, and you'll see this very much. So the white is really white, and the purple is really purple. It's a nice royal purple. So here is where I am right now.
Well, it's nice.
Now there's two versions of this. One's a little taller, one's shorter. I'm going to do the taller version, but I'm really happy with this. This has the same feel as what you're wearing.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's nice and comfy. And so I'm really, really happy with this.
Is this color work? Because I'm noticing on the inside, yes?
It is. It is color work. And what that does is it's going to make it warm because it's 2 layers.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Really
Because you're always carrying yarn behind. So I really am happy with it.
I like the good contrast of the two
It
colors.
is. I do. I think in that pattern you really need the contrast, so everything shows.
Nice.
So I'm
That's
really
really
happy
nice.
with it. But do you know how I figured out what pattern it was?
No.
I knew the designer, So I went into our own show notes on Ravelry. Can you believe I did this? Went into our own show notes and I searched for this pattern designer, and it came up any episode in the show notes where I put that person's name in, and I could go back and go, is that it? Nope. Is that it? And found it.
Good for you.
So I'm really, really happy with that. That's nice.
Good.
I keep saying really, really happy.
I know.
But,
So you are really, really happy.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. My next work in progress is not knitting. It is some embroidery. Now, we bought this.
It's nice to kind of switch it up.
Exactly. When we were in, here we go, memory again, Fenland Falls at their Kawartha Lakes Fiber Festival. And they had these, so it's called Monogram Ornaments, and these are the embroidery instructions.
I'll pull it back here. Just
Thank you. So sorry. Now, I had finished a couple of these, so let me show you the ones that I had finished. So I had done a J, which is for somebody we know for Christmas. I had done an M, which is for somebody we know at Christmas, and got those done. And what I did on the back was I ordered from Amazon these cork circles, so they're exact right size. I just have to punch a hole in the top.
Have you done the hole yet or no?
This one, yes, was really nice. This one was not really nice.
Do you learn from that? What did you use to punch the hole in the back there?
I have a
hole punch.
Hole punch.
Oh.
Yep, exactly. And this one I didn't, and by the time I figured out what I really should do, I'd already done it.
Well,
so I can make this one look prettier. That's no problem.
I don't know, Colleen. You're just so hard on yourself. It looks pretty
Well,
good.
to be honest with you,
this one does look a little better, but
exactly.
I mean, you can get away with both.
I know. So once I put the ribbon through, by the way, ribbon at Michael's, this nice rich red will go nicely with them. I had a little trick because the embroidery floss color that they recommended is kind of a bricky red, and so I had to find. But you helped me out, and we did that. So
I would think that needle pointing or whatever, is that what you call this?
Embroidery?
Embroidery on wood would be difficult because the wood doesn't have any flexibility at all. How's your hands?
You know what? I think that's probably why I ended up with a split on the side of my thumb, but I've been putting cream on it and it's doing okay. But mostly it was May. I broke another needle. So I think.
Oh, you break more needles.
Oh my gosh, break more needles. I think it must have been 4 or 5.
Oh.
And I kept thinking, oh, this needle won't break. Yeah, it broke. Yeah. But you're right. It's because sometimes you have to wiggle the needle to get it through, and you're metal against wood. So I got a lot of them done, which
they all turned out nice though.
So so we have an M.
And you just have to put the backing on these
I just have to put the backing on.
That was great that you could buy that backing though, like
exactly.
Size
it was
of the
brilliant
circles.
because I didn't, trying to cut out a circle.
You could even make these as. I guess you couldn't make them as coasters because they're too
rocky.
Rocky.
You might be able to because there's enough that's the same.
You could pour resin over them.
Okay. We're not going to, but we could.
No, these are great gifts.
Yeah.
These are really nice.
So I'm going to get all those ready. They're ready for Christmas. So I kind of went. Initially, I was doing all the colors on one, and then going to the next one. But then I thought, I've got this color out, so I just went through every single one and did the same thing.
Right, and there's the back. What it's going to look like.
Exactly.
So great job.
And
on
I need a different needle to do the French knots.
And I'm noticing some of them are a little different thickness too.
There's one, and I don't know why.
Huh.
I don't know. I ordered them at the same time.
Wow.
There's only one out of
all
thinner,
of them. Yeah.
That's a little thinner.
But who's going to know?
Nobody, because they don't know. They're only getting one. So it's good. So that's that. Oh, I meant to mention. So I got these from Maker's Lodge. And if you go on, you can order these. You have to go and buy the DMC colors, and they give you the information on how to do that. But it's really quick, and shipping is like a regular letter because it's so flat, so it can slide through wherever it needs to slide through.
So would you recommend these to do them, or?
I would. If you want to do something different and you've done some embroidery, this is great. But you do have to be ready to work through wood. It is a little harder on your hands.
Right, good.
But not too bad at all.
Good.
Okay, almost there. So my last work in progress.
You've been busy or are busy.
I continue to be busy. So you said, what do you do with the leftover yarn? So if you remember the Anders sweater, the baby sweater that I did, now they also have a cowl. And it's Ivor, so it's Soaring Claire Kerr. So it's still the same idea of the trees. And so I have the yarn. I'm thinking, what can I do?
Wow. You know what I was thinking when you gave me that sweater? I thought, this looks familiar, but I thought it was a cow collar. Oh my goodness,
I know,
that's
it is
very
pretty funny. Now, the thing that's interesting, and I'll just warn you that this pattern is written for worsted yarn, and the sweater pattern was for DK yarn.
Probably good to know.
It is good to know because you have to do a little bit of juggling because to make the cowl so it's going to go over your head. So I had to add some repeats, but it wasn't a problem. And so here we go. And I started
really
this
nice
as of
too.
last night.
Color work. Nice.
I'm really, really happy. So I'm just getting through the white. I still have all this left. So I thought, what can I do to use up the rest of the yarn?
That's
there
a
we go.
great idea.
Exactly.
And you get to wear the kid sweater around your neck.
Well, I don't know how to make myself a
sleeves,
sweater.
that's nice.
So once again, that's the Uptown DK Anti-Pilling. And
Nice.
that's by Universal Yarns.
Very nice.
So I'm really happy with that. It might be done by the end of today if I sit and do some more knitting with it. I'm really happy with that pattern. There's a hat, there's a larger size sweater, but there's no adult sweater yet, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that that's going to come.
When you say you're going to knit, it's so funny because, you know, people that are into crafts like you and I'm always in the garage or you're in the house, like the housework seems to become secondary. So we have
Housework? What's housework? Housework? Really?
It'll always be there.
It
right?
will always be there.
But the thing is, we kind of set a day aside so that we have to do it. But it only, if you keep
Exactly.
up with it, it only takes us an hour. If the two of us get going
It's
on
not
that,
too bad.
it's not too bad.
Exactly.
We do have to do that because, as you know, if you're a knitter or crafter, that becomes, or a miniaturist, it becomes a secondary thing.
It does.
Which is a good thing because, you know, you can't spend your whole life cleaning.
No, you can't.
No,
No.
you can if you want.
Yes. Okay. So those are my works in progress. And May, there's a whole lot here. Wait till you see it. It's
Well,
incredible.
I am doing works in progress. I'm starting a new project. I have not worked, Colleen, as you know, with resin before. So it's a whole new experience for me.
Yes.
So if you know anything about resin out there, you can let me know, or some tips and tricks. I've
Okay.
been looking on YouTube. I know that you have to wear a mask. I know that I'm wearing glasses because I don't want to get that, because I've already got crazy glue on my glasses. I don't want resin on my glasses.
Right.
And gloves, and you have to be very careful, and you have to mix them both. So I'm being very careful, but I
Right.
don't really know what I'm doing.
Right.
So it's kind of experimental stage, and I started a project, and it is going to be
It's beautiful.
the Great Lakes. So I had this piece of wood here, and I had it for years. Colleen had bought it for me to do some wood burning,
Right.
and I never really got around to using it because I wanted it to be just the perfect project.
Right. Right.
And then I saw this idea of cutting out with my scroll saw the Great Lakes, and then somebody filling this in with resin.
Okay.
And I've always been intimidated by resin. I've always wanted to use it, but I find it really intimidating. But after using it and doing the proper steps and reading the instructions,
Right.
which I don't normally do, it's
No,
really
she
not.
doesn't.
It's really not that bad.
Right.
And so I've been kind of experimenting with it. So the whole idea is I cut this out with a scroll saw, the
Right.
Great Lakes. I'm going to fill them in with blue resin.
Okay.
And so that's a work in progress. So I'm going
It's
to
going to be
see
beautiful.
how that is when it turns out. But I love this piece of wood.
It is.
You know, forget what's there, but I love the wood.
The
It's
wood.
nice. And I put a back on it. Like after
Right.
I cut it out, I put the back on it and then I'm going to pour the resin in.
Okay.
But I have to pour the resin in stages because to find out the resin that I bought, you can only do a quarter of inch, an inch at a time.
Oh, okay.
And this is more than a quarter of an inch, probably
Okay.
like an inch or so.
Okay.
So I'm going to pour it in layers, and
Right.
I've never done that before, so we'll see how that turns out. But I'll
right.
be excited to show you that when it's all done.
Sounds great.
Now, here, Colleen, is so rather than doing that on the nice piece of wood that I have, I
Right,
thought I would do a
right.
little experiment. So I kind of simulated what I had there,
Right.
and this is kind of like what it's going to look like.
Okay.
only-
That was a great idea.
yeah, I haven't filled up this yet.
Right.
This needs another layer, but
Right,
that's
okay.
typically what it's
Yep.
going to look like.
Now, is it trouble that this is leaking out of here?
This is my prototype.
Right.
I didn't really put that down, and you
Oh,
can
okay.
see how much space is between here and here.
Oh, okay. I see what
and
you're
here
saying.
and here. There was
Okay.
just a little bit of space.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. I didn't know if there was something special you had to do.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
That's good.
It's okay.
So there's that, and so
Okay.
then I had this because we do polymer clay and we have some silicone molds.
Right.
And you couldn't put resin in silicone molds, and I thought that'd be cool because I always have a little bit of resin left over when I
Right.
do my
Exactly.
little pores here.
Yeah.
And so I thought I would try, get him one of our molds out and try and do a
Okay.
little pair of earrings with resin.
Perfect.
And so, and a little necklace.
Okay.
And some earrings.
Wow.
Yeah,
When
I
get
really
my
like
jump
this.
rings
This is
out,
my new favorite thing to work with.
That looks like fun.
Yeah, so I can't wait. These are just prototypes too, because
Okay.
you can add glitter.
Right.
You can add like leaves. You can add all kinds.
Right.
There's so many things you can do with this
Right.
resin. And it comes clear.
Right.
2 containers.
Right.
1 and 1 comes clear, and then you can get products that you can mix
Okay.
in different colors, and that's when I mixed in the blue to make this blue here.
Okay, right.
So
Now I'm going to ask, sorry, I'm asking
Okay.
lots of questions. The one here is really clear,
right,
and these ones are not clear.
right.
How come? Sorry, trying to find out information.
You know, I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fair. That's
I don't really know.
Okay.
It's the same kind of thing. Maybe
Right.
maybe a lighter color.
Oh, maybe. That could
And
be.
this is layers.
That
so
could be. That
I
could
don't
be.
know.
Okay.
But tried
See,
that.
I'm learning
No, I
along.
tried to you know these little circles you get from the dollar store.
Right, right.
I tried to make that, but they didn't really turn out because I don't think I put enough color on there. So I'll have to
Okay,
work on
right.
that. This is all experimental for me because I
That's
have
good.
no idea what I'm doing, but I'm loving doing
I'm
it.
telling you, it looks like you know what you're doing.
Well, I don't. So I bought this at Michael's. It's hodgepodge one.
Right.
It was $44. Like, it's not cheap stuff.
No,
but
no.
It's $44,
Right.
and that's what I've used. But then I went back to Michael's today, and I asked the girl. This is a lot more. You get, and
Right.
it's $26, I think, or something
Okay,
around
right.
that stuff. And she said she's used different ones. She hasn't used this one, but she's used one, and these work very similar.
Okay. That's good to know.
And when you use Craft Smart,
right.
that is Michael's own brand.
Okay, and that's
So
why.
I'm gonna see which one works any different or one
Okay.
works better than the
Okay,
other.
perfect. That's a great way to do
Yeah.
it.
And so now that I've got all this resin, I've got to make all these projects and all this. My head's going crazy
That's
what we
right.
can do with it. Because a lot of the times, what you can do is a lot of people do the breadboards
Right.
with resin.
Right.
There's jewelry. There's artwork.
Oh my goodness, she's crafty,
cups,
crafty.
coasters.
Wow.
These are just some of the ideas, and I'm excited to hear what you've done with resin or projects, or you can give me some tips on how to work with
Right.
resin. I just know that you need to have a ventilated area because you don't want
Right.
to be
Right.
fooling around with this stuff. Right.
Right. Exactly.
So, but I certainly was very intimidated, and now I'm not, as long as I do the right protocol.
Exactly. And I'm glad that she read the protocol. That's really
Yes, yes, yes.
good. You don't want to be
So-
halfway through and go, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to do it that way."
No.
not with resin and epoxy.
So I'm looking forward to doing, maybe I could do some knitting kind of things that we could do with resin. I haven't thought of that yet, but maybe there is
I've
something
got some
out there.
ideas. I'll
You
think of
do?
something. Sure, I do.
Good.
I'll
And
think
I
of
think they do
something.
cups with them. You know, there's all kinds of things you can do. But
Oh, I've
I'm
got something in my mind already.
You do?
It's going to be fun.
Maybe magnetic resin thing. I don't know. That goes might work. I don't know
don't
if it'll be magnetic through that, but
I don't know.
I'll give it a shot.
I'll have to do some figuring.
All right, so that's my work in progress. That's what I've been spending most of my time on, and I've been really enjoying it. So there you go.
Perfect. So next we're going to talk about our adventure.
I'm so excited to talk to you about our adventure in Sarnia. I was able to take my mom to visit her sister, and we dropped my mom off at her sister's place, so she had a lovely visit. And then we went to visit Colleen's son, who just purchased a house in Sarnia, which was very exciting.
Exactly. It was nice to see him.
It was nice to see him. And so lots to do in Sarnia. And of course, we can't go to Sarnia without visiting Feather Your Nest. And that's a lovely yarn store, and Colleen will talk a little bit about that. But while you're in Sarnia, you can't go to Sarnia without going to Point Edward, where the bridge, under the bridge, you have the French fries.
French fries.
You say
So
the word
good.
French fry, Colleen's like, ah!
Exactly.
And it was a beautiful day to do that. Of course, I took my own lunch.
You were very good. She only had one fry. One. I don't
one
know how
fry.
she did it.
I know it's not easy,
No.
but
And
I
these
don't
were
have the
good
same
fries.
metabolism as Colleen, so I can't eat. I can't keep up. So let's just say I can't keep up with Colleen, because you could eat French fries every day if you could, but I
would
just
love
can't
to.
do that.
No, even I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so my lunch was very different, but we still got to enjoy, under the bridge, and then this big, huge tanker.
Exactly.
Unbelievable what the Great Lakes, these tankers go through there, isn't it?
It was amazing.
The size of these ships are amazing. I often wonder, I want to go on there and find out what they do and how, what they're carrying and that type of thing. And so then we had a lovely lunch. And then we also had to visit the casino for just a little bit.
Yeah,
lose all our money. We don't ever put a lot of money in the casino. We just we have a limited amount, and then we end up losing it. And I don't know how people at the casino sit there for like
all day.
They sit there comfortable. They got their coat. I don't even take my coat off when I've lost $40. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
And they've got their coat behind their chair, and their feet are up, and they've got their coffee, and they're just.
I know.
How do they sit there? I put $40 in and it's gone in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Anyway, but it was always fun to go to the casino for a little bit of fun.
Exactly.
And then, of course, we visited Feather Your Nest, which is, Colleen will talk about all the yarn they have in this store. Mm-hmm. But the lady's name was...
Terry.
Terry, lovely lady. Mm-hmm. And her store was beautiful. She's getting ready for Christmas. The gifts they have cups, they have napkins, they have cutting boards, they had, I don't know if you saw the mittens, they had all these Christmas gifts. If you're looking for that unique Christmas gift for someone special, because a lot of her stuff is like really good quality.
Yes.
You're paying the price.
Right.
It's not a dollar store.
No.
you're paying a good price, but you're getting really good quality stuff. Like she had chocolates in the store, Colleen.
Yes.
Chocolates. What kind of chocolates were they? We go to Stratford and get
Rio Thompson.
Rio Thompson chocolate. So not just your everyday chocolate, Rio Thompson chocolate, which is awesome. So that's what I'm talking about. Her quality, and I think you found the same with the yarn.
Exactly.
What she does have, she doesn't have like a huge selection from what I've seen in different yarn stores, but she has you can talk more about the yarn because I don't really know, but she had good quality yarns.
Exactly.
And like everything in her store, like her mugs are good quality. Anything she had in there was good quality. So if you're wanting a gift
for a special someone,
someone or something like that, it would be worthwhile visiting that store in Sarnia.
Exactly. So one of the things, I think they call them hostess gifts. I don't know with COVID whether that's gone, but a hostess gift. So if you're going to somebody's house for dinner, you bring them a wee something.
Right.
And this is the perfect spot because she has jams and jellies and chutneys and sauces and dressings and all kinds of things, and the chocolates. And as you say, there are like...
And it was good quality stuff.
It's beautiful, beautiful things. Mm-hmm. And we might have to go back there and buy a few Christmas presents.
Right, yeah. And they're just getting ready for Christmas. It's kind of a turnover. The store was just, I thought the store was in great shape.
Yeah.
But it was even turning over to get under the Christmas.
Exactly.
And we just, the cool thing is we just drop into these stores and people are so good and gracious with us.
Terry was lovely because we tried to explain what we do and that we're just one coming to see. And what had happened was we had been at the Kitchener Waterloo Fiber Festival, and I had been at the Feather Your Nest booth, and they had La Bien Amie, which is yarn that comes from France, and I thought, I've always wanted a skein of that. And then I thought, I'm not going to buy it now. I'm going to go to the store, and I am so glad that we did. First of all, got to meet Terry, have a lovely conversation with her. She explained all the different bases of La Bien Amie. So there's a merino DK, there's a cashmerino, which has cashmere nylon and merino. They have a Felix and a Helix and a Corriedale, and she took the time to explain all the different bases, which was great. And it was like a whole wall of being in France.
Wow.
Exactly. It was a wow to me. And you know how you look in Home Depot at the wood?
Right.
And you feel happy? I was in front of that going, it was so beautiful and really well displayed and lots of beautiful colors. So there was that. She has some Noro. The other thing she has, which is Clifton Cashmere, which is 100% cashmere.
I don't even want to know the price of that.
No, you don't want to.
It's good quality yarn.
But it's beautiful. It's one of those things that you would make somebody a cowl and they would have it for a long, long time because it's so beautiful. So some of those jams and jellies are Stonehouse ones. She has jewelry. She has scarves.
Well, jewelry. I forgot about the jewelry.
Yeah. Now you know more about this jewelry.
I don't really know a lot about the jewelry, but the jewelry looked really nice.
Okay.
That's all I know about the jewelry. I didn't know.
There we go.
But it looked like, again, good quality
Exactly.
stuff. I don't think she puts anything in her store that isn't good quality.
No,
Everything just
and
seemed
her
nice.
her yarns are, as you say, like you can't really get them in a lot of places.
Right.
So it's not like I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to go and buy a skein of Barocco Comfort there. That's
Right.
not what that is. And we talked about that. I said, these are beautiful yarns and you don't see them everywhere. And she says that's the kind that she likes to bring in.
Right.
And I think it's the part of her store that is yarn is at the back. So you get to walk through all that other lovely stuff first. But she is very careful that she just brings in the really, really good stuff.
Right.
And so I was absolutely thrilled to have been there. And thank you very much, Terry. You were very welcoming and inviting and explaining things. And it was really, really great to see you. Great to meet you. Great
And
to see your store.
When you're down getting French fries at Point Edward,
Yes.
pop in.
That's right. If you think you need some dessert after your French fries, you could go into Feather Your Nest and get some chocolate and then just kind of work your way through and get some lovely yarn. Exactly. So we had a great time in Sarnia. And so next we're going to talk about souvenirs. May, did you buy anything?
No, I don't. I don't buy. I really like. I'm happy with my resin. Like that. I guess that would be my souvenir when we
Right.
got home.
Right. Exactly.
And my souvenir was we visited another store when we were there, and that's where I got the idea from.
Right.
It wasn't my original idea.
Right.
Somebody had done that on a piece of plain plank wood,
Right.
and I just had that wood. So
Okay.
that was kind of my gift
Okay.
to myself.
Well, very good. We have to have a few gifts to ourselves.
Yes.
So let's talk about yarn first of all. So what I did was I kind of fell in love with this color, and it is called Winterfell. So this is Merino Decay,
Lovely.
and so that's 100 grams, and these are both 50 grams because she didn't have 100 grams of that in one skein. So this is the Cashmerino, so that is like a fingering weight, and that's Decay.
Now I was going to say, just holding these, this feels thinner than this.
It does, and it
It's
is.
supposed to be.
So now I get to think. I have some ideas of things I want to do with that, but it's very, very special.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
very similar.
nice.
So actually, this needs more yarn than is in that one, but I
Okay.
think I could fudge it
Right,
a little
yeah.
bit and make myself one of those.
nice.
That I think, because it really turned out nicely.
Well,
Really
I'm glad
happy
you
with
like with your purchases. Those
Yes,
are nice.
so that's the yarn purchase. And then
French fries and
French
chocolate.
fries and chocolate.
Colleen's
And
a happy woman.
I thought, oh, I'll just buy one mint smoothie because I do enjoy mint smoothies. And I thought, if I buy one mint smoothie, I will eat it on the way home and I will have no souvenir to show you. So I was very careful. This is all lovely and taped up. And this is called the Essential Smoothie Collection. So there is a milk chocolate mint smoothie, dark chocolate mint smoothie. I think that's a raspberry mint smoothie and an orange mint smoothie. So I am very excited about that.
See, that's a nice little gift for somebody. Or
It
if you go
is.
into somebody's house.
Yes. So
It's not something you normally would buy for yourself. Except
No,
for if you're
exactly.
you.
Host is me. Oh, it's a little bit chocolate. Now, I probably will, and this will make you laugh, probably cut each one of those in 4 and they'll last a long time.
Colleen's the only person I know, and I'm going to be telling some
Okay,
tales
here
here.
it comes.
She rations herself to things. Like, see, I'm the kind of addictive person that I couldn't just have a little quarter of that. I'd have
Right.
to have the whole thing once I
Right.
started, so I just don't start.
Okay.
Colleen's the kind of person that can
Yep.
cut this into like 10 pieces.
Four.
And have
4 max.
4 pieces.
Yep.
And have a quarter in 4 days.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Now, what I'm going to tell you is Colleen's also the person that could go into a bag of chips and count 10 chips
I
and
can.
have 10 chips.
Exactly.
For me, not happening.
Exactly.
When that bag is open, those chips are gone.
Exactly.
It's just different
I
ways
know.
of doing things.
I
And
know.
you're able to do that.
Yeah. At one point in time, I had put on some weight. I was trying to lose it. And so the boys were living with me at that point in time. And I would open a bag of chips, have a good smell of the chips, take the largest chip out I could find, and say, okay, guys, there it is. The rest is yours.
One chip, that's torture.
I know. You know, and say nobody can eat just one. Well, I could.
Yeah.
If you ask me that now, no. It's like, oh, I'll take one, oh, 2 or 3 or 4. But I'm not going to eat.
You
the whole
still
bag.
count a lot of things out that you
Exactly.
eat. You know, if you're going to have a crunchy bar, you ration it. Like,
Exactly.
You don't. I would eat the whole crunchy bar. You see?
Right.
You see the difference?
I see the difference.
Yep. That's the French fries. Well, I did have one French fry.
And look at and you.
I know, but that was even pushing it because I really wanted all your French fries.
I wouldn't have liked it if she wanted all my fries. I would have gone to get her some fries. I like to share, but
Yeah.
not when French fries. Yeah, French fries. No.
Oh, yes.
Hands off. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. We did have a great time in Sarnia. And Terry, once again, thank you so much for being so welcoming. We really appreciate that. And thanks to you for watching as well. We really like doing this for you. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, and we will continue to do these things and be able to, we're thinking, we haven't talked about this right at the moment, but we're talking about doing a giveaway.
Correct.
Sometime in November, we're going to do a giveaway. So we're just giving you a heads up about that.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
They might want to put their name in there.
Exactly. So we will keep you posted on that. And until next time,